you guys mind standing and praying and pledging with me? Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the city. We thank you for the blessings that you've given us, and we just ask that you continue to guide our decisions, that you continue to provide resources for all that's in our hearts and minds to do, that you give us creative ideas, and be with us tonight in this meeting. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start with the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
All right. Remarks or inquiries by the audience not pertaining to any item on the agenda. Open that up for a couple minutes. Anybody have anything? All right. We'll move on to item 5, report by Ryan Pearson with OMPA. Ryan, do you mind? Hi.
Hello.
Thank you
How
for
are you
coming.
Yes. Good. How are you?
All right, thanks for having me out. So I don't have any real specific reason to be here other than the fact that we just like to come out every now and then. So you guys know that we're just the man behind the curtain, not just that. You know, we like to come out, answer any questions you have, maybe update you on a few things. I thought tonight, since I don't have anything specific, I'll just talk real quick about cost a little bit. People usually want to know about that. I've got something here that I'm gonna hand to you. Mostly good news. Costs have been very low for the last couple of years. I've got a graph here that kind of shows how it's moved over the last 10 years. We've been pretty fortunate. Even with rising inflation in most areas, the power costs for OPA have stayed flat. Went up a little bit in 2022, came back down pretty heavy in 2023, and then 2024 was an even better year. There's lots of reasons for that. The main one is because of the price of natural gas. We were 49% of our resource mix was natural gas in 2024, and the natural gas prices stayed pretty low. If I could tell you what they were going to do in the next year, I wouldn't be here. I'd be a billionaire off making money somewhere. So we'll see. We cross our fingers and hope they stay low, but we've been pretty happy with our resource mix and trying to use a lot of that dispatchable generation like natural gas, also staying flexible and having a lot of our resources. The energy costs in 2024, in fact, were maybe, we went back 30 years, and they were as low as they've been in 30 years. So, all good news there. You'll also find on sheets 2 and 3 some numbers that are more relevant to your specific rates as a utility. We like to send these out every quarter to kind of let utilities know how they stack up. And we have a unique situation here in Oklahoma in that cities and towns that own their own electric utility don't want to be entirely dependent on sales tax and not have any city services, like to try to also use their utility as a source of revenue. So it sometimes can make them a little bit less competitive with some of the investor-owned utilities like OG&E or PSO. But you guys are doing great. If you look at those rate comparisons, you are at a rolling average for the last year, you had lower rates than most. Congratulations on that, and hopefully you can get that message to your citizens when they complain. Because no one likes to pay their bill, we understand it, but if it's good that they know that you guys are being reasonable, right?
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing. Now, on that topic, with cost, there are a lot of changes that are happening in the industry, and as a result, OMPA is trying to keep up with some of these regulatory authorities that are coming out. The main one is in our power marketing region, Southwest Power Pool. There have been a lot of changes of what you have to have on what's called your capacity reserve margins. This is basically just how much reserve capacity you have to have beyond what your full demand is, so that you don't have a shortage shortage and there's rolling blackouts, like we've seen in the past. Winter Storm Uri back in February of 2021, if you guys remember that, it caused a lot of changes at SPP because the entire 14-state region did have a shortage and there were forced outages and rolling blackouts. So SPP has increased the reserve margins and they put deadlines on it that are very short, and it's caused all the power suppliers to have to go out and bring in capacity, find some way to meet these new standards. So fortunately, we did have some things in the works already. The solar farm North Fork that went over by Frederick came online last June. That was 120 megawatts that added to the resources. We've added a couple of smaller utility scale batteries to a wind project that we have a PPA with. We also have got in the queue to possibly expand one of our natural gas generating plants up in Charles D. Lamb Energy Center up in Ponca City. So there's going to be a lot of movement on this front, but OMPA's plan has always been the way you guys do it and a lot of other municipalities do it is when you have to bring on costs, try to time it up when debt's rolling off, right? And so you keep things stable. We also have what's called a rate stabilization fund to try and help rates from year to year, and that's been getting built up over the years. It's at $24.3 billion right now. So all that's looking good. I don't really have anything negative there to report. I just want to give you that brief update.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Item 6, financial report for February 2025 by the city manager. Irma?
Okay. So it is our budget season. We have started doing budget. We started it on Monday, so we've been in budget meetings all week, and we'll have budget meetings next week with the mayor, commissioner, and then the newer commissioners. When they come in, they'll meet with us for budget as well. So we've been working on that. So we've just been looking at numbers for the last week. So I'm gonna go over our monthly financials for February. So our sales tax is up by 7.3%. Our use tax is up by 28%. Alcohol tax is down 15%. Our franchise tax is up, way up, because we've collected on somebody who hadn't been paying us our franchise fees, and we got that payment. Our miscellaneous fines, they kind of are the same from last month. It's $3,735, and then of course our transfers are the same. We had a total revenue in the general side of $214,466, and our expenses were $168,308. So we stayed over by $46,157. On the MUA side, the water revenue is up by 18%. Our water rehab is the same from last month. Our electric revenue is up by 19%. Wind power is up by 16%. Sanitation is the same. Recycle revenue is the same. Actually, I'm sorry, it increased from last month. It's $439, and last month it was $210. Recycle center fee is the same. Wastewater treatment is the same. Our penalties are up by 29%. Our total revenue was $386,485, and our expenses were $383,105. Total cash on hand, that does not include our CDs. We currently in the bank have $633,103.77. Until all our checks clear, and then that'll change. That's it. Like I said, we've just been working on budget and we met with the police department today and our superintendent today and the electric department, so
Very good,
busy times.
for sure.
Good job.
Thank you. All right, police report by the chief of police. Caitlin?
Good evening. We were fairly busy in March. We took 24 different types of reports. We had 2 assaults, 1 drug narcotics violation, 2 thefts, 1 EOD, 1 attempted death, 3 threats of intimidation or intimidation, 2 vandalisms, 4 warrants, and 2 weapons violations. We took 410 calls for service, 15 911 transfers, 3 accidents, 1 alarm, residential, the 2 assaults, 11 beyond the lookouts, 3 breaking and enterings, a death notification, 4 disturbances, 5 domestics, 1 fight, no weapons, 178 requests for information, 1 intoxicated individual, 3 open doors that were found during patrol, 1 reckless driver, 9 requests to speak to officers, stolen property, 14 suspicious individuals, 4 suspicious vehicles, 3 vandalisms, 4 welfare checks, and 3 accident reports. That sums it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, fire report by the fire chief.
We had a total of 25 calls for March. We had 1 yard sprayer that caught on fire, 5 air evac or helicopter standbys, 4 alarms, 3 power poles that were down or sparking due to the high winds, 1 tree that was down in the road due to a wind, structure fire, just had 1 motor vehicle accident, 2 grass fires or hay bales that were on fire, 4 lift assist, 1 smell of smoke, 1 hydrant check, and 1 cat in the tree. That's it.
All right. The important thing is, did you get that taken care of?
All right.
All right. Item 9, code enforcement report by the code enforcement officer.
Moving on the animal control side, we had 26 total calls, 1 PD assist. Between animal control and PD, 8 citations were issued, 12 warnings were issued. Had 9 calls for traps, trying to get critters back out. Code enforcement side, issued 2 new dilapidations, declared 2 properties for abatement, finished up 2 demos, filed 2 liens, issued 6 permits, and no citations on that side.
Awesome.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
All right, item 10, discussion and possible action to approve the adoption of ordinance number 465, amending Title 7, Chapter 8, Section 784, restricting bicycle equipment being operated on the street with a speed limit of greater than 25 miles per hour, and changing the times when a front emitting light and rear emitting light must be equipped, declaring an emergency.
Mayor, I'm gonna let Corey and possibly Lance speak on this. They sent it to me to add to the agenda.
Basically, we have bicycle ordinances, but our bicycle ordinances, number one, when they were adopted, there was a typo, because basically the lights weren't required until it was after sunset or before sunrise. So we extended that to 30 minutes before sunset and 30 minutes after sunrise, because it's still dark in there. And in addition, the original language only restricted the safety equipment being used on roads with a speed limit greater than 25 miles per hour. Well, in Mangum, that was only really like 2 roads, Lewis Tittle and parts of Lincoln and parts of Taft. So we just took that out there so it would apply in all the neighborhoods. So that's the only 2 changes that we made. And it was requested by the police department.
All right, a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion.
And you also need to declare an emergency.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance number 465 and declare it an emergency.
Second,
I'll second.
vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
All right, item 11, discussion and possible action to approve the adoption of ordinance number 466, amending Title 7, Chapter 3, Section 732, by establishing a maximum speed limit of 25 miles per hour on all city streets unless otherwise posted, declaring an emergency.
This is similar to whenever this was again requested, it was brought to my attention in that not all of our streets are posted. You know, we do have certain areas of town that's posted, like Taft Street or Lincoln Street, around this, I think the square, school zones obviously, but a lot of the other streets, there is not really good signage. And so what this does is it just states unless it's posted, we're just saying that the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, which is pretty much standard and has been the practice in every community ever. It's just, what state law states is that unless posted, it's gonna fall back on ordinance. And we technically actually never had an ordinance that said this. So that's all that's doing, is it's just making and adopting the, speed limits for all streets that is not specifically posted at 25 miles per hour. Again, this was also requested by the police.
Gotcha.
I requested, just so y'all know, I requested both of these for safety issues. Obviously bicycles at night without lights, the kids are riding around, you come close to hitting them. They have to have lights, and then the speed limit is to keep these people down, because they'll be driving, well, there's no posted speed limit. You're right, there's not. So this is to fix those problems.
Awesome. Thanks for catching it.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 466 and declare it an emergency.
Second,
I'll second.
vote.
Huckabee.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
All right, item 12, discussion of possible action regarding renewing the interlocal agreement emergency medical services between the City of Mangum and the Greer County Special Ambulance Service District.
I didn't even bring the, do you have the contract? Did we print up their current?
I mean, I usually print the amended, but I didn't know what we were doing. I mean, it's usually one page, so it depends on what you want to do.
Is there any discussion from anybody? No? I'll make a motion to have the ambulance service start collecting their own membership dues. That way they can have their own checks and balances and take care of their own finances, and there's no issues amongst the city and the ambulance board.
Can we speak to that?
Yeah. It's a special meeting, so nobody's allowed to speak as far as the audience is concerned in a special meeting.
Corey,
In all fairness to everybody, this has been on the agenda like several times, and we're coming up to a deadline to get it passed. I don't know what more discussion is gonna do. I mean, we really need y'all as a board, because their board still would have to make arrangement as well. So y'all either need to do what I call an up or down vote. You can either, tonight, I think you need to at least approve the contract, I mean, the amendment which just extends the contract on the same terms and conditions for another year, or you vote to terminate it. I don't know what else, or what more could be said to get to that point, I guess is what my issue is. So I don't know if additional discussion is gonna help, I guess. We just need to quit kicking the can down the road and do something,
in my
Well,
opinion, this is really bad timing
okay?
at the extent of two commissioners and bringing more in, and I don't think that we should make a change like that.
I personally feel like it should be pushed to the May meeting, since we have 3 new commissioners coming in. That's just where I'm at on it.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table to basically not renew the contract. Is there a second to that motion? Going once, going twice, that motion fails. Is there any other action that wants to be taken on this item?
Is there a motion to approve?
Is there a motion to
Contract.
approve or to table this item?
I make the
I like a motion to table it till the May meeting.
There's a motion to table this item to the May meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a second. Any further discussion among the board? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Huckabee.
Yes.
To table it.
Huckabee.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Okay. Item 13, discussion and possible action regarding approving the draft plans for the hospital re-roof project and authorize the architect to begin the bidding process.
Hi, everyone. My name's Josh Shane Bourne. I'm with ARC Architecture. And we were asked to put together a re-roof design to assist in the replacement of the roof in conjunction with the current insurance claim to assist in the actual construction of a new roof. We are tonight seeking approval to put the plans out to bid. And I have a bid suggestion to go forward with. But before we do that, the plans are currently sitting at what we call 99%. I'm more than happy to roll them out and explain it to everybody or answer questions, but it's simply, it's replacing the roof that's already there. A short synopsis is we have taken the liberty. Currently the roof slope is not up to code. So we're including additional tapered insulation to create more roof slope. We're getting rid of a couple roof trains that are failing, taking some of that slope, pushing it out to gutters. So that way it overall makes a better roof and it brings it up to code. Besides that, is there anybody that wants to see the plans before we put them out to bid? Okay.
I've looked at them. I think we've been emailing. I've looked at
Yes.
them. It is sloped finally, which is gonna, I think, help. So, basically what y'all need to do, and again, I'm not trying to, I mean, we don't know what he does, you know, so we have to kind of trust our expert. That's why we hired him. So what I would recommend the board do is to approve the plans and authorize the bids, is basically what we need to do.
And just to further that, we have shared the plans with the insurance adjuster. We've received no comments. We did have a conversation, he and I, over what's expected, and we delivered that. But if there is any questions prior to a bid opening, you know, via Title 61, we have to put it out to bid for 3 weeks minimum. There is time for people to come forward, ask questions, and we are here to respond to requests for information and even make addendas to the plans prior to the bid opening if need be. So we have a nice buffer here to be able to continue down the process, get you all moving, but adjust if need be.
All right, any questions?
I just guess, I mean, I sent you all the stuff that the adjuster had drawn up previously. Was there any major changes based on kind of what they thought needed to happen versus what y'all wanted to do?
Just basically what I explained is we did, I mean, theirs was really a replication of what's there, and ours is for the most part, but like I said, there's some roof drains that, I mean, they literally have a little hole, there's not a basket and a bowl, and then we've got some that are at the roof edge that we've put new tapered insulation over and run into a gutter so we can get water shedding to the outside of the building as opposed to running it through a pipe that may not be failing. So we're trying to reduce any sort of future issues and bring it up to code in the same sense.
I don't have any other questions.
All right. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Abstain.
Are
It
we
still
good?
passes because we
Okay.
have a quorum. Quorum
Discussion.
is 3, so the 2 can go for bids.
Okay.
Is that clear enough where you do want another motion to go out for bids as well, just to
Well,
clarify?
and yeah, that's what my next question was
Okay.
gonna be, is really to seek some guidance to, you know, in terms of how, you know, this body prefers to put out bids. Our recommendation is that we deliver hard copies to the city hall location or the hospital location where contractors can pick them up locally. Normally, we keep them at our office, but we're in Oklahoma City, so let's not create that sort of speed bump. We can get those delivered within, you know, prior to, say, Thursday. Typically, we found that bid openings are the most successful if you put them at Thursday at 5 o'clock. And that's just simply a sweet spot that most contractors respond to. They've had all week to get hungry, but Friday's coming. That's a recommendation, but again, I know a lot of organizations have their own idea about when they want to have a bid opening. So we recommend Thursday, if we put them out to bid and announce it, which we will deliver the bid announcement to plan rooms, and we'll help you all meet the Title 61 requirements to put it in a local newspaper. If we call it for next Thursday, which I believe is the 10th, then we could set the bid opening for May 1st at 5 o'clock. Here, if that works for you all, but again, we're looking for guidance. There's,
If you do it for May 1st, this meeting board usually meets May 6th.
okay.
And I know how some people, some contractors, I mean, I've seen it both ways. You know, they either do the bid opening and then before the meeting, or they do the bid opening on a different date and then come present the bids at the meeting.
The way we like to do it and keep it, again, Title 61 compliant, is that we have, there's a representative of the city or the hospital board that is present when the bids are open.
Yeah.
They're opening at the time that the bids are due, which per our suggestion will be Thursday at 5 o'clock on May 1st. And then that gives us about a week
Okay.
to be able to review and qualify any bids, if there's any questions, before we present them. And then I would come, before you and present the results and give our recommendation. So that way you can make a decision based on what we've got.
Okay, so set the bids for May 1st, and then we might have to have a special meeting, but at least it's,
Well, you just need somebody from the hospital and, somebody from the city.
yeah,
Yes.
like the mayor or a council
Yeah.
person or something.
So we don't, not necessarily have a special meeting for it, just.
To open the bids, we won't need it, but I'm just saying, accept the bids, we may have to.
Right.
Because our meeting's not till the 6th, and so if he needs more time to review those before he makes a recommendation, we might have to have a special meeting, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, if you just need, naturally a couple days to set the agenda,
Okay.
I can pretty much know immediately upon looking at the bids, how much we're gonna have to qualify. And in this kind of project, a week is generally very reasonable. And
Okay.
so we've got a couple days that I can let you know if it's a go, no go to get on the agenda. if that works.
Perfect.
All right. So we need a motion to let him go out for bids at his discretion and direction, whatever.
There you go.
I'll make a motion for him to go out for bids as he sees fit.
Second,
I'll second.
vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all very
Uh-huh.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Discussion of possible action to surplus a small utility trailer no longer in use belonging to the city of Mingham to be sold either by auction, advertised, or individually at the city manager's discretion.
This is just a little trailer that I failed to put on last month when we was putting stuff in Purple Wave.
Okay,
I
all
forgot about it, so it's just clearing that up.
right.
I'll make a motion to surplus the utility trailer.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 15, discussion of possible action to approve the first net contract for 4 hotspots needed in the police department to be OCERS compliant and for downloadable use for body cams in each police unit.
Good evening. Okay, basically, what, the state of Oklahoma has mandated this OCRS program, and for us to have to use this OCRS program. So, to be compliant with this program, we got the 4 laptops, and, the only thing we're lacking now is just the hotspots. If you look at your paper that I put right there for you, on FirstNet, Mr. Garrett's getting us these 4 hotspots basically for 99 cents a piece. They generally go for almost $200, because we have that contract. And then we're gonna get unlimited service, unlimited, data for $36.80 per unit for a total of $147.20 a month. That's gonna be just, shy of $1,800 a year. But this will make us compliant with everything that we have to do, and it will help us download these things even faster. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
I will add that they do have money in their current budget for this.
Okay.
And like I said, we discussed the budget today, and if it does get approved, we'll figure this amount into the new budget for them.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve.
second,
Second.
vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 16, discussion of possible action to approve the quote to repair the concrete culvert on South Louisiana Street.
This is that place we got the road blocked off down there that, the street was caving in. It's a concrete culvert. I don't know how old it is, but it needs to be completely replaced. And we had a concrete bid at $14.5, I believe it was. And the only other bid I got, we checked into putting the pre-made in there. And just putting the pre-made in there without having just the material itself getting delivered is over almost 11,000. So anyway, it needs to be fixed. It wasn't budgeted, so we need to get approval to get some funds to get that done. I'm sure everybody's tired of driving around the block down there.
Mhm.
And we also have people just driving through their yards now, through their yards to try to get through that concrete barrier. And I've noticed that the barrier was pushed partially out of the way, so.
That they were using their property as a driveway, so.
All right, so we need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
I'll second.
vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 17, discussion of possible action to approve quotes for the purchase of a commercial tractor for the Parks and Cemetery Department using the funds that were budgeted in the 24-25 fiscal year.
Mayor, we already had this budgeted, it was approved at budget season, and when we adopted the resolution for the budget, we just have the quotes that we need to go so we can purchase it. Did you make copies of the quotes? Or they were, I
think
think
they're in the
they were
packet.
attached.
I sent them in the packet.
Okay. We already had the money budgeted in there, we just didn't purchase it yet.
We've got bids for a new one in there, but Mike has found a used one it's a good used one, that he can get serviced and a lot of different attachments for it for, what, $5,000 or $6,000 less than a new one, so. Anyway, that's what we was wanting to do, if y'all can approve it, save us some money, and then he'll have what he needs to fill the graves in when he needs to.
It's over there with Western Equipment, John Deere, that's where it was purchased by the person that has it. That's where I got all my new mowers, my commercial mowers. That's also where I keep parts of my steel product. So it centralizes everything for services to parts to that type of thing. And I called him, the guy asked him $14,000 for it. He said, I get the bucket, forks, a box blade, and a brush hog for that $14,000. John Deere's been in turn, I've already talked to them, there's a bid and a quote on that for them to completely inspect, service, change out any hoses that need to be changed, oil changes, filter changes, fluid changes, anything that needs to be done, and they're doing that all for $1,500. So that takes it up to what was the total, so, and it needed a new seat. So that still comes in right at what, 16,000? I forget what it was. So that's 16,000 and my approved 21. So I think I'm coming out far ahead and getting way more. And I've been looking a year and a half. A new tractor, I can't get one that size for that, and that power and four-wheel drive and hydrostatic transmission. But I can get a smaller one for, I think it was 19.6, an off-brand thing. So I think it's a good deal. And we needed it for a couple of years now.
Awesome.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase, whichever way you see is best for you guys.
Second,
I'll second.
vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 18, discussion of possible action to approve payment of invoice 4743 to Jana A. Walker CPA in the amount of $9,000 for the final payment for the 2024 audit.
Mayor, so our audit for 2023 was completed and we approved that invoice a couple of months ago, and she was working on 2024. She's completed it, so this is the final payment, and they will be here in May to present 2023 and 2024 audit.
Great.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 19, discussion of possible action to approve to expense all and future scrap metal monies to be used at the discretion of the city manager or operations manager.
This, again, last month when we had the scrap metal for the old meters that we just replaced, we had a number that we wanted to use to expense throughout the budget. This is just the remaining, so we don't have to keep coming back.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
All right, staff and board remarks. Remarks or inquiries by the governing body, members, city manager, city attorney, or city employees. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Okay, adjourned. Moving on to the MUA. Call to order with a roll call, please.
Huckabee,
Here.
Manasco,
Yes.
Peterson,
Here.
Chapman.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. The consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Yes.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
All right, remarks or inquiries by the audience not pertaining to any item on the agenda. Okay, item 5, discussion and action to approve invoice 223138-8 to Myers Engineering for the DWSRF project in the amount of $2,790.
This is the closeout, one of the closeout invoices for our project, the electric water meters that we owe to Myers Engineering.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 6, discussion and action to approve UTS pay application number 2 in the amount of $138,848.
This is for the electric water meters. We're done with the project, so we're requesting all the closeout forms for this so we can get the UTS paid, Myers Engineering paid. So we have to get this application signed and approved so we could move on to number 7 after you approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 7, discussion and action to approve DW 271 disbursement request number 9 for the amount of $136,638.
So this is so we can get reimbursed the application fee up at the top to pay UTS. Once we sign it, then they'll deposit it into our account so we can pay UTS.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 8, discussion and action to approve request number 3 in the amount of $26,125 for changes in adding meters, smart points, meter lids that were missing during the planning project.
Well, this is an amount that we have to cover on our own. The paperwork that they sent us said that there was information missing on the original bid when they came down. It was just written down that all of our meters were the same size and they weren't. So they only covered the costs that we requested at the time of the grant when it was applied for. And so they won't cover $26,125.
Where will that come out of in the budget?
Well, we have to take it out of our general fund because we didn't have that budgeted at the time of budget. We weren't expecting that $26,000. We thought we were 100% covered at the time when it was applied for.
All right, a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yep.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 9, discussion and action to approve DW 121B being the owner's statement of acceptance for completion of the water replacement project.
That is the final paperwork that says that we're taking the responsibility for the $26,125.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Item 10, discussion of possible action to use the administration credit card for the hotel stay April 14th through the 17th for the water department training.
The water guys are going to get some training done in, was it Edmond? I'm not too sure where they're going, but we only have the administration credit card, and they need a card to, of course, pay for their hotel stay. I believe it's just one night. I'm not too sure.
It's 14th through the 17th.
Oh,
Okay, so-
oh, it does say the 17th.
Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I'll second.
Vote.
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
Yes.
Peterson, Chapman.
Yes.
All right, staff and board remarks.
I just want to say that I am honored that I got to sit here for 4 years. I feel like we got a lot accomplished, and the employees are phenomenal, and I want to thank all them and everybody who supported me through all this. It's been quite the journey, and I hope you guys all the best of luck in the future for Mangum.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you guys for your time spent serving. I know that this is a very hard job, and it's thankless, to say the least, but it does not go unnoticed, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We've had some good times.
Yes, for sure. And there's a lot that has been accomplished on y'all's watch, that's for sure. Thank you. All right, any other remarks?
That's kind of what I came up here for too. I wanted to thank these two. We kind of started this journey with them when we talked in this very room together. I wanted to tell you also, thank you. You've done a great job. No worries. Go be with your family, do what you gotta do.
Well, thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
We appreciate all that as well. You guys have, this has turned out a lot in the last 4 years, and I'm happy for y'all for that, so.
Sure. Anyone else? All right, a motion to adjourn,
I'll make a motion.
second,
Second.
vote,
Huckabee,
Yes.
Manasco,
yes,
Peterson,
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
adjourned.
I've got several papers for you.